Well, welcome to the Canadian International Auto Show, formerly the Toronto Show, and we're here at the Toyota booth because of this big bad boy.
Well, it's the Toyota Land Cruiser first edition model. It's in trail dust. It's got the gray roof. I think it looks really great. We recently drove the Lexus GX, which is based on the same platform. So we wanted to take a look at this first edition model. Let's have a look around. So this Land Cruiser is actually a little bit smaller than the previous model. It's narrower and shorter. If you compare it to the GX is 3 inches longer, but they share the same wheelbase. So this first edition model has the two-tone color option that you see here. You've got black exterior accents, including the door handles. Of course, you've got this trim on the bottom as well. The front of the Land Cruiser is different depending on the trim you get. The first edition model gets these iconic round headlights. You can also get it on the base model, which is the 1958. You've got this heritage Toyota grille, which looks pretty cool. I think it gives this such a retro look. Now the middle trim is the one that gets you the rectangular slim headlights. So it really depends on what you're looking for. It comes standard with LED headlamps. You've got LED fog lamps as well. And it gets 8.7 inches of ground clearance.
Well, there is a big difference between the GX from Lexus and the Land Cruiser, even though they're based on the same platform. Powering this is a 2.4-liter turbo 4-cylinder. It's called the iForce Max system. So that brings the power to 326 horsepower and 465 pound-feet of torque. So a lot of torque running through an 8-speed automatic transmission. The GX has a twin-turbo V6. Now, the Lexus GX is also going to have a hybrid system announced. We speculate they'll use the same hybrid system as this and modify it slightly for Lexus purposes, but that's what's running inside the Land Cruiser. It cannot tow as much as the last model. The last Land Cruiser, you might remember, had a V8 engine. This one, now with the turbo 4-cylinder hybrid system, can tow 6,000 pounds, which is less than the old model. Now, it's a different story for Lexus. That GX can tow 9,000 pounds. So once again, we're speculating that their hybrid system in the Lexus will be this system. They'll probably tweak it, as I mentioned. Towing capacity for that on the Lexus, we'll have to wait and see.
Now the boxy design carries through to the back, which is actually a great design for this model. It really brings you back to the iconic look of the Land Cruiser. Now this comes standard with LED taillights, and on this first edition model, you've got mud flaps on the bottom. It has a power tailgate as well. And I do find in this model that when you're loading, it has a higher load floor, so it will be easy to load your items in and out of the vehicle. The bumper has an integrated back door guard, and there's some extra storage here as well. And since this is an off-road vehicle, it comes with a full-size spare tire.
So the suspension on this Land Cruiser, it's a double wishbone front suspension, coil springs at the back, and you also have 17-inch disc brakes front and rear, and electric power steering. All Land Cruisers are equipped with a multi-terrain select, downhill assist control, a full-time 4-wheel drive system with center locking differential, and electronically controlled 2-speed transfer case with high-low range. The system also features vehicle stability control and automatic limited slip differential.
The Land Cruiser has an approach angle of up to 31 degrees and max departure to 22 degrees, while breakover angle reaches 25 degrees.
So we spent a couple of days in and out of the GX when we were on the launch event. By the way, that's a great video. I'll put the link here. You should watch it. The full video review of the Lexus. And it definitely feels different. They have, of course, higher grade materials, even though this one is fairly nicely equipped and a different array of interior, but you can still see some similarities.
Yeah, this just feels more rustic inside. I would say more Toyota grade. This first edition model actually has leather seats. If you get the base model, it comes standard with cloth, and then the middle trim has soft tex. These seats are really comfortable. I mean, I think that you would sit in here and think, wow, this is really a comfortable vehicle. I also like some of the trim pieces that are in here on this top model. And you've got also the first edition badging throughout the interior of the vehicle.
So interestingly, so you have cloth, you have Softex, which is faux leather. That's their name for it in the Toyota world. And then you've got leather in this trim. The cloth seats are made up of 30% recycled water bottles. They call it pet material. It's not made from pets. PET stands for
Pet yarn.
Pet yarn. It's a longer term. But anyway, you've got some recycled water bottles in your cloth seats if that's the route you go. And I don't know why, Andrea, because we spent a lot of time in that Lexus. This feels narrower to me. I'm not sure if it's just a optical illusion, but I don't know why.
The wheelbase is the same between the two of them. Obviously, this is narrower than the previous Land Cruiser, but it's supposed to be the same as the GX, except the GX is longer.
Okay, what about the screens? Everyone's into the screens. What sizes do we get?
Standard 8-inch touchscreen, available 12.3-inch touchscreen. This has got the moonroof. You've got heated front seats in here, ventilated front seats. There's driver seat memory, of course, a heated steering wheel. And then when you take a look at the storage, it's fairly deep here as well. And I would say that the door pockets are pretty good. You've got cup holders here, wireless charger sits underneath the dash.
It's all the stuff you expect in a modern Toyota. I just want to give one little thing you should think about. So we've talked about the GX, we're now in the Land Cruiser. Just fast forward a little bit. Could this be a slightly bigger version of maybe what's going to come for 4Runner? It's all going to be shared on the same platform. You kind of know that, right? So it'll be interesting to see what they do. All right, we're going to show you the back seat in the room back there.
One of the big differences between this and the GX is that this does not have a third row. So it's a 5-passenger SUV. Now, I would say that the back is quite comfortable. The seats do not recline or move fore and aft, but still comfortable. I really like the pitch of these seats for your back. It has got 2 cup holders here. And of course, on both seats, you've got these map holders as well. The floor does sit up a little bit higher. I can feel that my knees are slightly higher, but still really comfortable. This has got the JBL sound system. You can see the speaker to the right here. And overall, I think that you'll find the rear seat to have a fair amount of leg room for you. We've pushed the seat up a little bit to a comfortable position in the front. These seats are also powered in the front. The seats back here are not heated.
All right, let's get into what we know and what we don't know.
Well, the Land Cruiser will hit dealerships sometime in the spring, and that is when Toyota is going to be announcing pricing for this model.
And that's when we're going to get a chance to drive it. Apparently in April, we're going to get a chance to take it and do some fun things with it. We love driving the GX. We're going to drive this with the new powertrain to see how they differ. They should be quite different, but we're going to find out. Thanks for watching.
See you next time.